Well, the funny thing is, though, I will tell you this. Probably about 10 to 15 years ago, they interviewed Neil Diamond about that song. And he was getting so, like, it's the one song he's very well known for. And he was getting so sick and tired of hearing, being asked about it and everything else. Like, who's Caroline? And da-da-da-da-da. And he sat there and he thought of the most horrific thing he could think of. And he was like, it's about Carolyn Kennedy. And at the time when the song came out, she was probably about 13. And he's like, all right, people are just going to be sick of the song. They'll never sing it again. They'll never ask about it and none of this. Nope, didn't happen. It made people ask more about the song and everything else. He's just like, ugh. All right, fine. I'll tell you. Oh, speak of the devil. Hold on. So I will bring the last member of the 1440 Brain Trust in. The one song stuck in my head. From the West Coast, the one, the only, Mr. Practical Printing, Mr. Chris Russell. If he comes on singing that song, I'm dumping him. Toilet Paper King! How are you, sir?
While he's muted, he can sing as much as he likes.
Is he still muted? Do I have to unmute him?
Yeah. Interesting background.
I was going to do a toilet paper background. A throne of toilet paper. There he is. He's unmuted.
Morning.
Yeah, you're a little
Chris.
low, but yes.
Hi.
It's all that toilet paper. It's absorbing the sound.
There we go. Oh, six ply.
I was going to say all that toilet paper was rustling.
Speak, sir.
Come on,
We're
Chris.
waiting on
You have the floor.
Floor is concrete.
You still have it.
I'd rather not.
We
Okay.
always knew you would end up in a padded room one of these days.
There you go. It's actually not toilet paper. It's cash register receipt.
Yes, we cannot hear you.
Can't hear me?
No, I can.
Oh, no, okay.
No, this is just the short interlude to jump on for a bit before we jump on with Tom a bit later. Maybe squeeze in like 2 hours of sleep in between.
That's funny. Tell me how that goes.
I can tell you all about it. I mean, I'm gonna go get on my nice soft bed, put my head on my memory foam pillow. Yeah, pink eye.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
Making
apparently,
jealous.
apparently you can get COVID through your eyes now. So careful about touching your face there.
Yeah, and through another means they found out recently too that I will not bring up on this show.
Oh, wow! We've got a huge crowd.
Where we
They're
go?
all waiting for you.
We're waiting for me. No, that's why YouTube. The YouTube side paused. Wow. Of course, I'm wearing a blue shirt, Mike. The orange one's in the laundry. I had it on earlier today, and I couldn't look like Shane. Might get us confused.
Dude, you need about an extra 150 pounds to look like me.
Hide it well. It's
You don't
fair.
want me to do that because you'll see something that you'll never get out of your head.
Family friendly, gentlemen.
I do want to be able to sleep for those 2 hours.
Oh, God.
Ah, that's a good idea. So, I'll send you messages on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh gosh. So you were about to start singing some Neil Diamond for us, Shane?
No.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a pretty good catalog to choose from.
Nope.
It's a lot of
Nope.
worse things you could have stuck in your head.
You do realize I can mute your microphone.
So can I.
Yes, but see, I can just keep on hitting mute.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to get another cup of coffee.
Wow.
Okay.
So what is life like in the future, people?
Sweet
future.
Caroline.
Mute. Yes, good. So it's 4 p.m. here for all of us now in
That's right.
Australia because daylight savings or summertime has finished.
Hooray.
Oh, summertime finished. Come on.
Oh, it's still summer.
Finishes in Brisbane.
I hear
You-
it's 8 o'clock in the morning. So for me and myself, this is
It's
why
like
we're having
almost the
coffee.
third month of
I
autumn.
still-
It was 28.
I need another one, I guess.
My husband
Yep.
just brought me a cup, but
Oh.
he didn't want to come in, so I
Yeah,
had to get out
mine
of
is
bed.
still,
Yeah, we saw you
mine is
vanish
still
quickly.
sleeping.
2 a.m. Yeah, that's my normal bedtime ish, Michael. If anyone who knows me on Twitter or three, something like that. But mornings, forget mornings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
me
I'm on the
too.
afternoon shift.
Mornings
I'm-
are evil.
Yeah.
they are.
I'm more night owl too. So mornings are cruel.
There's a question in chat. Have we talked about the Creality Kickstarter? What is the
What?
Creality Kickstarter?
Yeah, I didn't hear about that.
Oh.
either.
That's Leo, who I mentioned earlier about the potential of a Australian MRF, ARF as we call it. So making a mess is Leo Cattle.
Why does
Well, I saw somebody
Creality-
comment about it on Twitter, but
Yeah.
saying why back it on Kickstarter? Just wait till it's finished.
Correct.
Kickstarter,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
pretty
you can
pretty
buy it
much.
cheaper.
Yeah.
Why the heck does Creality need Kickstarter?
Oh, so Vinny's
Just
saying,
marketing.
or RC Maniac is saying it's maybe the belt printer, which is the CR30. But
No.
I thought that was just going to be a retail offering.
The belt printer, they haven't discussed much yet. It's the CR6, which is just another standard printer. I don't remember if it's Core XY or if it's Cartesian, but it's. I think they're trying to crowd fund it to make it entertaining.
Yeah.
Okay.
They need the money, but I think they think that they can allow people to kind of build it out a la carte doing it that way.
Right.
Choose your own options, choose your own adventures by what you choose to
Oh,
review.
okay.
So, it's
Okay,
not the CR6.
Oh, no, but there's a couple saying, yes, it is the CR6.
I
But
can't.
not from what others said. Interesting.
Yeah, I
Mixed
can't tell.
messages.
Yeah,
So
We'll Google it.
is it circumnavigating that patent by not using a vertical gantry or something like that, or whatever it is? There's some
the belt printer.
like the black belt. Yeah, the black
Yeah.
belt had a patent, and the white knight got around it, and
Well, they got around it with a
Sort of.
45-degree axis.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
A permanent Z or a continuous Z, which I would have thought is a continuous Y, but
Yeah.
I understand why
I
it's.
thought it was a continuous how.
yeah.
So I cracked myself up a bit.
No,
too
that's all right.
much.
Muting Sam now.
I believe one of the things that they were having on the Kickstarter printer was they were basically putting an end stop underneath 3 corners or 4 corners of the bed, either a triangle or all 4 corners, and using that for leveling, somehow tied to the firmware, so that when you tightened it down far enough, it triggered the sensor on each corner and you knew that it was level.
Oh, that's cool.
Which, it's not a bad idea,
Yeah.
but it sounded like they were trying to put a patent on that, or a patent.
Yeah, good.
I think
Also, what happens? Do you adjust the sensor if it's wrong? And that eventually becomes like adjusting the bed anyway.
right.
Did you all see the proper printing
Yes.
F5 mod?
Yes.
So it's moving the gantry instead of moving the bed. I loved his bed leveling mechanism.
I love his.
The whole
I love
thing
his
was just
show.
mental.
This is
Yeah.
cool. I just like him. He's a crack up.
I'd never seen him before, but this has done the rounds, and it's really cool.
I think him and
I hope he gets more exposure.
I think him and Happy Extruder, Ron, could probably collaborate to come up with some pretty.
I actually tagged Ron in a tweet saying, "Hey, go look at this." I'm pretty sure he'd already seen him, but no, it was pretty impressive.
Yeah. Kat, I may have missed it if you said earlier. Have you started your new job yet?
Yes. Um, I can't wait to get into it totally. 1st of May. So I was over there part time, and yeah, my new chef is really awesome, and yeah, I guess I'm going to learn quite a lot there.
It's great.
And he wants me to learn Blender, but I don't know where to like an online course or something. I need something not.
Start on YouTube.
It's
Check out,
quite complicated, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, like I've got some pretty good resources for Blender tutorials and stuff.
Yeah,
'cause,
that would
yeah,
be nice.
Discord community I admin has thousands of people who use it. Joe, 3D printing professor, he also has some tutorials for Blender as well.
Yeah. Because I guess he wants me to construct some technical stuff for him, for prototypes or so. I don't know. But it's cool, I can test all those cool machines and materials and.
Yeah, you will find out how Blender works. You just need to watch different tutorials until you find one that you can really follow. I started to try Blender a while ago, and there are some tutorials which are really, really good, and others you just can't follow because they either go too quick or use a different interface because you can change everything. And
this is what I found out too. This is what kept me from learning it earlier, 1 or 2 years ago. I thought, oh my goodness, too many shortcuts, too many different layouts.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I still can't use it, so I'm probably not the best resource for that. But
and I need a technical approach, and not so much like for critters and stuff. So this is
yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
Well, the critters is a good place to start, though. They're organic shapes, which dental is going to be more organic than measured, squares and triangles and such. So
I'm not going to use it for teeth, but for technical stuff that goes on printers, like something like that.
Hard surface modeling stuff.
It surprises me that mesh mixer is used by dentists. Have you guys noticed that? A lot of dentists use mesh mixer?
Yes, for hollowing out models.
Yeah,
lots of resin.
I saw one guy designing a surgical guide in mesh mixer, like making a surgical guide in mesh mixer. I thought that's like a strange choice because there's not much precision with how you position things. It's very organic and very like, oh, it looks good, it'll do. I mean, maybe there is probably more precision tools that I don't know about, but yeah, I thought it was really strange. When I first sort of started using it, I was looking for Facebook groups, and a lot of them were dental only mesh mixing. I was like, wow. But then I think I don't know what's happened. I think either they've disappeared or the names have changed to just mesh mixer instead. Yeah, there's a lot of people asking dental questions on there though.
I've been using it for hollowing out models, for resin printing, and but normally we use 3Shape. It's a very famous software used.
Yeah, right.
Dental technicians and dentists. So.
Is it costly? I'm just wondering why dentists would be using free software. It baffled me. I was like, why are dentists using free software?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wanted to try to one-up Chris with his, the Shining background.
Yeah, that's nice. I'd love to be there. That also looks good. Chris, I didn't get the paper towels, the toilet paper rolls before. I just thought, oh, that looks so cool looking background, and until I put on my glasses, and then I saw what it really was. Without glass, it just looked like a relief. Relief.
How about that guy?
Oh, that's cool.
Oh.
That was from the last stream.
Mm. Are you doing it with a Logitech?
Baby Wonder or
What are you using there? OBS or?
It's built into the Zoom software.
Oh.
So down by the little camera bar on the bottom where it says stop video, if you click the little arrow next to it, there's an option for choose your virtual background.
Did you have to download something?
No,
No.
I don't think it's an option on the web version of it. You have to download the app for it.
Oh,
I thought I am using the app. But it's asking me that when I click it, it says download smart virtual background package. I guess if I just hit download, it'll probably work. Unless
It works better if you've got a green screen. It obviously works, but
the
it
app?
works better.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm in Prusseville now, as you can see.
Oh, actually, that's working surprisingly well. I'm very surprised by how well that's working.
Yeah, yours has done pretty well, actually.
For considering what I got in my background, yeah. I'm loving that. Is that working already, is it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, close. I'm happy with that.
You went
That's
that
rad. My hair looks a little bit funny, but...
What, just now?
Very funny.
Bazinga.
I can't download them. Where are they?
I can't find a download for them either, but I can put in the background from my folders.
Yeah.
You can drop any picture in.
Yeah, you can upload your own as well.
Well, since I got a new graphics card, I found that my computer's actually, or my webcam software is actually able to capture video and record like screen sharing stuff at the same time. So that's,
sweet.
Yeah, I know. I was like, yes! I thought I was going to have to try to do this, and it's just, I just go in and do it. I think my first video I did with it, I shouldn't pretend like I'm hardly remembering. I do remember. It was like the first video I put on Facebook was just me discovering it and going, oh, I'll try this. And like, I called it, "This is not a tutorial, it's a tribute to the best tutorial in the world."
I don't have any nice looking pictures here, so I can't use that.
This is what the stream is now. Backgrounds.
Backgrounds. We'll like join our backgrounds together so that
we just
we've all
completely
got
went
one
from
background.
no more 3D printing. It's all about virtual backgrounds. So, what's in your collection?
Well,
I wanted to show off this before.
Wow.
but it was green. It's green, dude. It's doing really interesting things.
Oh no, it'd be great if you could try to hold it in front of your face, see if it can try to match up. There you go.
That won't work.
So I was doing that
And then I'll do it with a
spider on.
non-green one. I should come back with a green T-shirt on, shouldn't I? Just be a floating
cool.
skull.
Oh, wait.
Well, there was Elijah from Junior Mythbusters. He was on earlier on today, and I think he had his green hoodie on, and then next thing you know, he was like, wait. And then he was just like, basically, he turned his green hoodie into the green screen, and he was playing, he was running Minecraft as the background. So he's on camera. I'm trying to watch him, and he's just too confusing. Trying to, cause his shirt was moving and everything. Oh, hell, dude.
Chris, that looks cool.
It's supposed to be a handbag, but the zipper doesn't zip very well, so it's kind of needs to be redone. Need to restitch it. Zip ties were not a good choice for putting the zipper on with.
Well, Mia's made handbags before. She might give you some tips.
Oh, that's squeezy.
Yeah, it's flexible filament.
Yeah, cool. Oh, Mia, that's cool. Nice background.
Was the first picture I found on my folders.
It's nice.
It'll do.
That, if you can see it, that's
Yep.
one I've been thinking of releasing for a little
Oh,
while now.
wow. That's cool.
Is that your model, Welbot?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, as I said, he's really talented. We need him to have
Wow.
an FDM printer so he
One
can
of
print all
quite a
that
few,
wonderful looking stuff.
Had buried in my folders for
The
ages.
people you meet. The people
Should
you meet on the
eventually
internet.
get around to converting or printing. That one's almost done.
Short attention span theater. That's the name of the segment. I think it works well.
I'm
Because
done.
everyone's like, hey, I found a perfect background. 30 seconds later, wait, there's this one. There's that one. This one's a movie. Seeing you guys thought you were used to your own times right now. It's 2:21 a.m. for everyone here.
Well, not quite everyone here.
No, if you're on the stream right now, it's 2:21 a.m. for everyone.
Okay, good.
I wish the time worked. I wish the time worked like that. Like, why?
It's a bit sunny for 2:21 a.m.
Yeah. Why can't there be an internet time and everyone just goes by that time from now on?
Well, that's GMT.
Is it? So if everybody just used GMT, well, it'd be the same time everywhere, and we could just work around it and just get used to a new bedtimes.
Yeah, except daylight saving still screws you because GMT is static and daylight savings. I care about daylight savings. It's awesome.
Wake up earlier. Or go to bed early, whichever it is.
Which bit of I don't get up early did you misunderstand?
I don't go to bed.
Yeah.
I go to bed at 4 a.m. most nights.
Okay.
I get up at 7.
No, you're ridiculous.
I'm a nut. Like, I don't know how I do it either. I really don't.
Welbot, apparently your model better go on Gumroad soon because RC Maniac's chomping at the bit.
Yeah, it's going to be a little while yet. Still got a bit more patching up to do because it was not originally made for 3D printing. So there's pieces.
There's bits that don't work.
Yeah, like certain bits that kind of overlap for animation purposes and so forth.
Yeah, right. I'd love to have a jam with you, Welbot.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have a jam with you somehow. If we can mesh mix and fusion together and stuff, it'd be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's definitely ways that things like that can be done.
I fix a lot of files for printing, and that's sort of I'm not very good at designing stuff from scratch. So I saw your Fusion video. I was like, holy crap, he does a lot of stuff in Fusion. And I want to watch more of that and get up to speed with that because I've sort of always just found Fusion daunting.
Yeah, I like up until probably 3 years ago, I had mostly been using 3 Studio Max for about 20 years.
Wow.
And a little bit of Maya and very little bit of Blender. But then when I started to get into 3D printing, I discovered Fusion and just found it's a lot easier to do like split models and things like that from the ground up. And
yeah.
Easier to be more accurate than with 3 Studio Max. Like there's still certain things I'll do in Max and like bit of Mudbox if I want to actually sort of sculpt something.
Right. Yeah.
Most of the stuff that I do these days, I do straight up in Fusion. So.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I really respect people that can think in Fusion. I just can't think in it. I have to, really struggle to plan something from the ground up like that.
Yeah. Well, that was the first CAD program I'd ever used of any sort. Everything prior to that was just, straight up sort of organic poly modeling kind of stuff. So it took me like, I don't know, 2 weeks to really come to grips with what the whole thing was all about. And then, once I kind of got the groundworks of how you go about building the base things, my whole mind just kind of went, oh, I can do this.
Did you feel the squelch of your brain snapping some new neurons or whatever?
No, it was more like one of those kind of mind expanding things where you just kind of, it's like, tripping on an ass. Kind of,
yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, like something snaps in your brain. It's like, I know something new. I can do this thing now.
Well, it's not so much I can do this thing. Like there's still a million billion more things that I could do in the programs I used to use. But it's more like I can do this in a completely different way, and sometimes it actually is quicker to do it this new way.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's kind of hard to understand. Even though I've had 20 years experience of doing stuff in 3 Studio Max, and I'm pretty quick with it, sometimes just doing the same thing in Fusion will take half the time or less, just because the tools are designed to do that particular thing better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you do half in F360, import it into anything else, and then cut time that way?
Yeah. I often like go from one to the other. Generally, I will kind of start with something in Max, like if it's an older model that I've got and I want to convert it, or if I've got a base of something in there that I want to dress up, then I'll bring it in Fusion and sort of work around it from there. But there have also been times where I've done something in Fusion and I'm like, there is no way I can do that in Fusion, so I'll export it, do my bit in Max, and then re-import it. But I tend to try not to do that, because importing mesh things into Fusion, unless they're the right type of mesh, can be a nightmare to work with, because unless you can convert it back to a nice solid model, trying to work with actual like mesh files in Fusion sucks.
There is a mesh workspace that I'm interested in. If I could get as proficient with the mesh workspace in Fusion as I am with Mesh Mixer, I would be a happy boy.
There is not a lot you can do in the mesh workspace, because it's not like a modeling workspace.
Doesn't it have some of the tools that Mesh Mixer has? I thought I have to look again. I thought it had
it has
quite a few tools from Mesh Mixer that they've ripped out of Mesh Mixer and put in there. But I haven't really played with it, because I just use Mesh Mixer when I want to mesh mix. But
yeah, the mesh tools in there are very limited.
Okay.
And yeah, like you can do certain things with it, but they're very limited, and with good reason. Working with meshes inside Fusion is just...
Yeah, I think the only thing it's sort of good for is to like trace something out and use something that kind of fits, like draw something on the side of something and use it as a, and then maybe take them both into Mesh Mixer and stick them together there to homogenize it if you want to.
Well,
I can't always sticking different things together. That's what I do: stick things made one way and things made another, and bring them together. And Yeah,
it depends. Like if you are careful about making your mesh initially, and you can get it into Fusion as a not million poly pure quad mesh, you can convert it into a think of the name.
I remember there's a square type mesh. It's not triangles, it's squares. Is that what you mean? There was,
you can convert it into...
Is that a quad mesh? That probably is a quad mesh.
T-spline.
T-spline, yes. Yeah, that's right. I watched a video on doing that,
And then you can convert that into a solid body. And that makes nice meshes, but you've got to have the right kind of mesh to begin with. And sometimes the conversion to T-spline will take away some of the details, but if you do have a good groundwork, you can make it pretty easily.
So guys, I will go.
All right, Kat.
All right, Kat.
Bye.
See ya.
Nice to meet you, Kat.
Bye.
Have a good rest of the day.
Bye.
Have a good day. Have a good night. Bye.
Almost.
Bye.
Bye.
What is the time? I should probably...
In which time?
4:30.
23:30.
4:30 for welbot.
Oh, yeah.
PM. 16:30. How's that?
Well, I've been on like 2.5 hours now.
I'm still waiting to get kicked out.
Rest
Is
of
that
the
a
world.
challenge or?
No, I'm just like I'm trying to do the right thing so I don't.
You look like Darth Vader, or who's the evil bugger?
I should just pretend I'm a different person. Change my name.
Emperor.
Emperor, yeah.
Darth Maul.
Yeah, the Emperor.
Darth Sidious, yeah.
Yeah. So the rest of the world, do you guys typically use AM, PM, or do you use 24-hour time just all the time?
No, 12 hour.
Yeah.
We do 24-hour in Germany.
Germany. So it's pretty much all over the place then.
Well, it just depends on how you're trying to communicate the time. If I want to communicate the time clearly, I'll use 24-hour and GMT plus 10, especially when we're dealing with vendors who are in other countries.
I'm not very good at time.
That's great. That's always one fun thing about setting up the schedules for this, because we make 4 different time zones. So then when someone asks me like, "Oh, what time am I on?" and I'll find out what time zone. I'll copy and I'll send it to them. You know,
You've got to add the date to those. Though.
It's color coded. It's color coded.
But I was ready yesterday at 2 p.m.
It was funny. He sent me a message and he goes, "So we're on in 30 minutes. I'm pumped." And I said, "No, it's tomorrow."
Oops. That's right. Some people thought it's tomorrow or today or whatever.
Well,
so it's fine.
I was telling people it's Saturday Arvo or Saturday evening, but it's Saturday evening for West Coast.
So like, especially in the Discord, people were asking like, "Oh, what time am I on?" Just copy, paste, send it. And then, like someone else would ask, I'll get in their time zone. And then the other person would get back. It's like, "Well, I'm on at 12 o'clock. I'm like, "Yeah, my time, not your time. And this is your time. Don't pay attention to anyone else's." I'm like, we got to figure out a better way of doing this. Because then it's like, okay, well, you guys are in the UK time. So there you go. But I'm in Central European time. So then add 1 hour to UK time and you'll be all set. But I don't want to do that because they're not in the EU. I don't care. Just do it.
Zoom time.
Zoom
Yes.
time. There you go. Someone said metric time.
Metric time.
Robbie Mack said, "Let's just have metric time."
I like the sound of it.
Yeah, good luck with that.
How do you smash a year into 100 pieces though, and have it make any kind of sense?
100 seconds and 100 minutes and 100-hour day.
100-day year.
I hate you.
So do we
I
have,
have a
10,
100-day year, but the day cycles are just going crazy.
10 days a week?
Does that mean we need a metric calendar too to accommodate the new times and all that
Yep,
stuff? Too?
correct.
Yeah.
We're doomed.
What happens when you get metric daylight saving time?
Oh, that's easy. You just multiply by 10.
I do daylight saving all the time. You just don't sleep for a day, and you've saved heaps of daylight.
Well, the funny thing is, like, Barry just asked, he's like, "Who can keep track of days lately?" And then it's like, well, like, oh, we'll just figure out our own time. Forget about the world. We'll just make our own times and everything else. So right now it's, 2/3 past the lunar eclipse hour of the 43rd day of the first year. That's the new time.
Speaking of, I've just put something in the chat just for a chuckle.
Is this going to crash the stream?
No.
Wait, which
okay.
chat?
Actual chat, stream chat.
Oh,
not Zoom chat.
There we go.
basically, yeah.
One trick I've heard mentioned to help keep track of what day it is, especially when the whole family is at home, nobody's going out to work, but the husband and the wife and everybody's there, is to make a 7-day menu for dinner. And that way you know what day of the week it is. It's taco night, it's burrito night, it's pizza night, it's taco night again.
Chris, every night's taco night, is it not?
I know. And I'm just like, okay, what night is unclog the toilet night?
Put the garbage bins out.
Pizza. What's next? White Castle?
That'd be the morning after Vindaloo.
You don't need to unclog anything after Vindaloo.
or if I was Brian Vines, I'd say Vandal Lou.
Yeah.
Wait, is he still awake?
No, he went to bed.
I'm going to bring someone in who was on early on just because last time when he did this, I laughed my butt off. So, see if he does it again. It's not the T-Rex, Lord Vader. Wait, no, it isn't. My lord, how may I serve you?
Hello.
Are you my father?
No, but I do have this really cool light-up lightsaber.
At least he's wearing his green screen again.
I was just talking about your green screen sweatshirt.
My hair.
I know I can never do anything with mine, please.
I'm back. What is your opinion on salt and vinegar chips?
Yes.
You've got to breathe the air out of the packet in.
No.
Wait. And just for the official record, since this is being recorded, I am not responsible, Mr. and Mrs. Elijah. He just came on. I pressed a button. I didn't realize what time it was. I'm innocent. Okay.
Continue.
Thank you.
Yes, salt and vinegar chips for sure.
Yeah.
Concur.
Yes.
Not my first choice, but it would be in the top 3.
Are we talking potato chips or French fries? Because
Potato chips.
Yeah, crisps.
it depends
I think
upon the brand or who makes it. Because some of them are just
Also, yes.
god-awful.
Yes.
Crinkle cut, not just
Yeah, got
wafers.
the crinkle cut.
Not those thin ones.
No,
Some of my
thins,
friends
and they're all oily.
Yeah, no, Lay's, no.
Well, unless
ugh.
they're fresh. If they're fresh, the thinner the better.
Yeah, some
Is
of my
things the same as Lay's? Is that the same? They look.
I think so.
I think it's the equivalent.
We're trying to do interpretation or translation from US to Australian brands because we'd have Samboy. No
Did you
doubt.
remember recently someone brought out Vegemite flavored chips for a little while, like as a special?
Must have been a real little while.
I think it was Vegemite flavored, or if it wasn't, it was something else really weird. No, hang on, it was Lamington.
Lamington?
Lamington
Okay.
chips, yeah, Lamington flavored chips. I think that maybe they did a Vegemite as well. I might be dreaming. They did? Am I not dreaming?
Yeah. No, they did Vegemite and
Okay, I'm glad I'm not dreaming.
And Joel is a yes for salt and vinegar.
Yeah, some of my friends just outright hate salt and vinegar, and they're like,
Hey,
why do you only
Joel.
like the extreme flavors like dill pickle or salt and vinegar? So,
Nah. Give me salt or salt and
Huh?
vinegar, chicken maybe, and barbecue. Do you guys have barbecue chips?
wait, chicken?
Chicken, yeah. It's like it's almost like chicken stock cubes.
Yeah,
That sort of
chicken
It
taste.
doesn't really taste like chicken.
No, it tastes like chicken stock cubes.
Wow, never seen that. I mean, Japan has some really big variety of chips. I mean, we've got pizza, corn flavored corn chips, which is actually really, really good. You know, salt and honey, shoyu, soy. I've never heard of chicken.
There you go.
we got some decent ones.
Yeah,
that show
chicken
up.
twisties, like
Like,
yellow,
yeah.
bright yellow little sticks of.
Cheesel.
I had one not like a couple of months ago. It was like cheese and truffle, and another really odd one, something in wasabi. They were really quite good.
Not wasabi peas. They're weird.
No, they were actually like
They're good, but they're weird. You can't stop eating them, but you don't like them. Like, oh yuck, wasabi peas.
Wasabi. Wasabi's good.
yeah.
Oh,
The
actually,
first
I'll
time
be
I had
right on it.
sushi, I would have been late teens, I guess. And
Oh.
there was this green paste. And I've gone, oh, yummy, avocado. And I've gone, scoop. And I've gone, whoop. And I'm running around the office going, what is this green shit? And my eyes were watering. And my son, actually, I must have been, I must have been in my 20s because my son existed. So I put some on my pinky and gave some to my son. He said, "Oh, I want it," and I said, "No, you don't want it." "Oh yeah, I want it." Never wanted it again.
Have you guys ever tried to buy the wasabi in the stores where you're supposed to mix it with like mayonnaise or whatever? So this is like pure 100% wasabi. You ever try that?
No, uncut.
Like the
Yeah,
stuff
basically.
Uncut wasabi.
Yeah. Try that one time before you die, just once,
I love it.
and just a little
It's
tiny.
gonna be the last thing I do before I die.
Oh, dude, you will literally burn the back of everything if you just forget about it.
Oh, have you ever held a hot pepper and then like just done like rubbed your
Oh
eye?
no, don't do that.
Yeah, that's my cure for corona. That's how you avoid catching coronavirus. You just rub it all over your hands.
No, can't say that. I'll post it.
The cure.
Sorry,
not the cure. Sorry, it's a preventative. If you put chili on your hands,
no.
you will not rub your eyes.
Do not, because we already have one person sitting there saying to inject disinfectant into your body somehow, some orifice or whatever. Don't need any more stupid information.
It was sarcasm. Come on.
Which part? The cover up?
Well, no, that was the step back. Oh, it was just sarcasm.
Yeah, I think the step back was the actual sarcasm.
Yeah, exactly.
My desk has somehow become more cluttered since the last time I was on.
It happens.
Yeah, here, let me just...
Wait, what?
This is...
Where's the dinosaur suit?
Wait, show me your messy desk. You got nothing, young Padawan.
Oh no, there's more.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know, it's not as messy as last
putting boards on top of it and then using the boards as space.
Huh?
It's not messy until you start putting boards on top of your junk and then using that board as table space. That's when it's messy.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was like a minimum bar.
Yeah. You start stacking.
You'll get there.
Once you're layering, then you.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Level goes up like when you have like that small pathway that you can walk through without knocking everything else over. The narrower that goes and the higher the stacks are next to you, that's how high your level is.
I think that's just like a mental disorder. Don't people get on TV shows for hoarding that much, or at least being that unorganized?
Don't worry about that.
Do you know where most stuff is?
Huh?
Do you know where most of the stuff is? If someone said go find a screwdriver or whatever, you'd know where to find it roughly.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Hoarders don't have that capacity.
Oh.
Where's the box of Cheez-Its?
That one's easy. It's right here.
There you go.
See?
Where's a
Organized.
2.5 Allen wrench?
What?
A 2.5 millimeter Allen wrench.
Hex key.
Good question. I don't know.
I
know I have this, which has the same like heads as an Allen wrench.
You have a Prusa.
Huh?
You have a Prusa. It came with one.
That's a good point. I don't know where any of the tools that came with the Prusa went.
And you sit there and you wonder if you're a maker. You are a maker, sir. I'm not gonna talk anymore because apparently when I do, I just kill any type of conversation.
I'm trying not to talk right now just so that I don't get kicked off. I'm hiding in amongst the trees.
The only one who's paranoid about getting kicked off is you. You're fine for the next couple of hours.
I've been on here for like 6 hours. I feel like I should like make room for people, but I'm happy to stay as well, so don't worry.
All right, look at it this way.
Everyone's cool with me being here. I'm cool with being here.
If there's another person that comes in, right, we have 9 people. We can do Hollywood Squares, the Brady Bunch, or I can just hide my video and mic, and you guys can talk amongst yourselves.
All right, well, that's cool. As
we
long
can
as
boot Sam.
Yeah, we can always boot me. Like, I'm totally bootable. At this point, I'm expendable. I've served my usefulness.
We've got about 15 minutes to make that happen, Shane, before I have to crash for a few hours.
What, to boot him off or get someone else on here?
If you want to do your Hollywood Squares or...
Well, we need another.
Brady Bunch. Well, I mean,
another from the
just-
West Coast, perhaps.
Is
I
that
just
a pretty
stole in the
fuzzy skin
chat.
in the background, Chris? Is that a 3D print using
Yes.
fuzzy skin?
Not
Using
not
it-
fuzzy skin. It's glint of some description.
That
close
is
up.
actually. Was that Clint? No.
Let's just say it is.
No, that was Rapunzel Silver.
Oh, man, you guys and your nice filament. Damn it.
That's because of shipping.
Yeah, we don't get nice filament. We do get some nice filament.
And the
but
Aussie,
just
the Aussie dollar.
Right, it's very
Oh yeah,
hard
the
to
Aussie
get.
dollar is just tanked.
Hmm.
Not
Just-
quite as much as oil, but you know.
All right,
Yeah.
this is going to sound like a stupid question. I really don't mean for it to sound like that. But do you guys have a Australian only filament manufacturer over there?
Sort of. Like,
Manufacture? I don't think so.
3D Phillies like imported in bulk, I think, and
Yeah.
they've got it branded, but it's not.
It's not.
made
It's
here,
not
but
manufactured here.
Yeah, Aurorum. Hold on, I've got a roll of filament here, and I don't know how old they are and whether they still exist, but I have a roll of filament.
Aurorum exist. I bought a GT2 belt off them fairly
Okay.
recently.
All right. Well, I don't know. This roll of filament's at least 4 years old, I think. But there's a roll of Aurorum PLA, proudly made in Australia by Aurorum Proprietary Limited. There you go.
Yeah, made. What does made entail?
Yeah. Well, that's a good
Winding
point.
it on a spool.
Wound on, wound off.
Yeah, wind on, wind off. Exactly.
Yeah,
there
so-
might be one or two, Shane, tops.
No, I was just
Absolute
curious because
No, it's legit. So we've got eSun has distribution here through Cubic Technology. We've got, and our eSun,
Mhm.
even with the crappy dollar, is cheaper than what you guys buy eSun for.
Wow.
I think it's 24 Australian dollars per kilo,
Yeah.
and I think on Amazon it's 23 US, which is times. I think we're at 1.7 at the moment. Is it 1.7?
Yeah.
Let's have a 60. What are we? 63 cents. 1 divided by 0.63, or 1.6. So yeah, by right, and then there'd be shipping on top. But yeah, it's just shipping is a bit of a killer. One, and because a lot of the US manufacturers have default costings with the carriers, they ingest a spreadsheet or whatever. A nozzle will cost $30 to ship because it's less than a kilo or whatever. So
I once went to buy Filamentum from Filamentum.
Yep.
And they wanted to charge me like $300 to ship one spool.
Yeah,
of filament.
exactly.
Oh,
I've had a conversation with them on Twitter, and their response was, "Shipping from Czech to Australia sucks." They literally said that on Twitter.
But
That sounds like something I would say.
can ship you a printer for, I think, €76 US dollars
Sure.
by DHL. So there are ways and means.
but they get a special volume discount, let's say.
Of course, yeah.
So I do know, I mean, like, especially working for them and everything else, I mean, there's countries that are just insane, not only with shipping, but if you start looking at import taxes and everything else, it's insane.
Yeah,
I mean,
As
as
long
far
as
as
we
the,
keep it under $1,000
Mhm.
and you don't attract the attention
Yep.
of the customs people.
yeah, I've had, when I used to work there, I would have people from Australia, and that was one of the, concerns as far as like that whole $1,000 limit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm drop shipping filament from AliExpress, but they've got an Australian warehouse, so that's pretty good. So it's not too crazy expensive, and I'm not making really any money out of it. I'm basically just giving it on cost price plus tax. So that's but that's $35 a roll for PLA plus, and that's about the best I can sort of do from anywhere, and that's about the same price as 3D Phillies are doing theirs for anyway. So and it's hard. There's really not a massive range of colours to choose from or options to buy it from where you can get it cheap. It's all expensive. Well, I feel like it is anyway.
No, everything's expensive.
JT, open up your own version of printed solid in Australia. Filament line included. From RC Maniac 25.
Pokemon asked
There you go.
Stroopwafel how much it'd be to ship a pack of Stroopwafels to me. It was 40
Yeah.
euros.
Have you
for
seen this
one
yet?
pack of Stroop bottles.
Hold on.
That's why.
Wait,
That's why I'm going to send you some Woolies ones.
wait, turn off the green screen. It's messing it up.
Yeah, it's terrible, Chris. Turn off your green screen.
Let me see if I can figure out how to
Or
do that.
turn it vertical.
Yeah, turn it vertical.
Oh, there we go.
In front of your chest.
Move it, yeah,
Yeah,
in front of your face.
It looks like a giant candle. I know it's been through the oven, but
Yeah,
that's
cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's crazy.
That's a block of.
It's razor sharp, isn't it?
These upper edges are, yes, right here.
Cool.
This is 1, 2, 3, 4, about the 5th one I've done with this bread pan. It seems to work better than the silicone molds, but I'm just taking all the scrap from doing the PPE and pretty much everything else that we've been printing, I guess, as I fill up a bin. If it's longer than the mold, I just cut it up with a pair of scissors or throw it in and just throw it in the oven at 232 Celsius. Highest my little pizza oven goes. For about 30 minutes, dump in a little more as it melts down and levels out. And my plan is to cut up the bricks on the bandsaw to make a Jenga set.
Oh, cool.
I was
Nice.
I was thinking just the bricks would be a good idea because it's a good bludgeoning weapon for any intruders.
Okay.
Youthful exuberance.
They're not light. I mean, this is.
I'm alone.
Well,
yeah,
you
guys.
could melt a stick inside, so you can really use it like a hammer or something.
He doesn't need any help. He doesn't need any suggestions.
We'll put an iron bar in there, rebar.
I don't think it needs it.
I did a similar thing, but I had like a cooker that's got a really bright light that just cooked stuff on with a bright light. Can't remember what they're called. And I sort of squashed a piece of tin foil, aluminum foil for you Americans, to the shape of a skull. Can I even see that camera? Yeah, squashed it to the shape of a skull. Pulled it out.
Can't quite see.
And then squashed it on, and then used that as a mold and tried to shape it into it, and it was terrible, but it worked kind of enough to know that it will work when I set it up properly and get myself a nice silicon mold of something, and then just melt it directly into a silicon mold and then pop it out and job done.
The silicone seems to not work well for this. I tried the silicone cake pans first.
Oh yeah, okay.
What I found is that they're too squishy, so as it melts, it'll push them out. The cake pan I'm using is actually just from the dollar store, and it's a Teflon coated bread pan.
Yeah.
It as it cools, it shrinks up just a tiny bit. You can tap it over, thump it on the ground, and it falls right out.
Have you had it cracking on you or not?
Not really cracking, but a lot of
getting cracks. But mine was getting cracks because I felt like it was just shrinking or not heating evenly or something. You know, it was. Yeah, I got a lot of cracks throughout the pieces that I'd done, but I think it was just the way I did it. It wasn't a proper oven. I wasn't getting to a uniform temperature.
I'm using just a little pizza oven I picked up off Amazon. It's a dehydrator pizza oven. So same thing I use for drying filament.
Yep, sweet.
I'm sorry, Welbot just scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, he's terrifying.
Because I was looking at him, and literally it was so dark, I could just see his eyes, and I'm like looking at it, and they turned the lights on a little bit. I was like, holy shit.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. That's
Sam,
awesome.
tilt your camera down a little.
I was just wondering, I've gone to the view where I can't see my head, so is that better?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool. Excellent.
Yeah, I started to take a screenshot or something, and in doing so, it kind of darkens the screen before you do it.
It was a great effect, man. Also,
very Halloweenish.
I'm just going to tweet out a shot of another model.
I'll be back in a few seconds.
No worries.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
That's it. Pretty much.
Chris, Robbie Mack in chat has suggested you maybe turn some pens with that block of PLA. Or it is PLA?
It's PLA and PETG.
Okay.
Because they melt at the same temperatures and.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But yeah, the pens has been suggested. It seems like a valid idea. I want to get it cut up on the bandsaw on the blocks though to find out if there's more air bubbles and stuff nested inside first. But I sold my lathe last year, so I can't turn it myself. But the blanks might be interesting for other people.
No, but Bobby Mack again. I keep waiting for ET to go flying by on a bicycle and Sam and Elijah's green screen. Because it almost matches up. You know?
Actually, yeah, it does pretty cool. It's obviously the same thing. Oh, there we go. Right.
Looking for ET?
Oh.
There you go. Ooh.
3D Rev kind of looks different, but I can't really put my finger on it.
He's lost weight. Had a haircut.
Oh, look, man, he listened to Trump and he tried that disinfectant to the body. But I'm bumped. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here all night.
You are here all night.
7 more hours, but who's counting?
You are.
Yeah, I know. I keep on thinking it's going to go faster. It's not.
You need more
Should
coffee.
I just share my screen and show you this morning?
Wow. Certainly. Wait, if you're going to do the whole black thing again, let me know. I want to like zoom in and take a screenshot of that because you scared the hell out of me.
I don't even know how I did it.
Oh, believe me, I'll find the time index of it 3 a.m. I'll make a note to go back 5 minutes and just look at you and just screen cap you.
Let me see.
Looks like it's still daylight there, Shane.
Dude,
Your lighting looks very natural.
It's the bulbs. I can't stand that.
There's the crows. Who's got the
hazel.
crows? I can hear
That's
crows
you.
in someone's background. No, it's not my background for crows. It's someone else.
Not
It'll be
mine.
mine. It'll be mine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Say good day on for me, will you?
I was going to say, what time is it over there?
12 o'clock.
Almost 5 o'clock.
Wow.
Still daylight. This is hence why we don't need daylight savings.
I just turned
Just drop it.
Oh.
I just turned my light on. That was starting to get a bit dingy in here. I think it's just because it's an overcast day.
I
Oh,
wouldn't
moved to
mind-
Queensland.
I wouldn't mind permanently staying in daylight saving time.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh.
Hi, host Kermit the Frog here, coming from the 1440 stream, and I caught a fish once this big. Miss Piggy ate it.
That's social distancing. Keep away. Please stay this far apart.
It's easy for frogs.
This
Miss
stream
Piggy.
slowly feels like it's descending into madness.
Piggy, we're not staying away from me. I keep on telling her to stay away this far.
Yeah, I got a little bit of work to do on that one as well. To finish it up, like a collar at the moment isn't really suited. But yeah, it's
You nailed the eyes.
Yeah, I was going to say, the eyes are cool.
Yeah, well, at the moment they've got to be split as well because at the moment that's just texture. But yeah, that one's dead easy fix. So yeah, just thought I'd share that with you guys. Figure out how to turn it off.
Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Kermit the Frog here. That's the only part that I can really do good. Everything else just goes off a cliff very fast. I used to be able to do Pee Wee Herman, but I have to scream really loud for that one, and you guys don't like that. Wait,
ready to mute Shane.
Oh man, no! I was just getting ready to screen cap welbot.
I can try it again if you want.
Wow, you guys can really mute me, huh?
Yeah, that must have been Chris because it wasn't me.
All right, Shane, you want to do it?
No, I think I'm just gonna do. Wait 1 second.
Oh shit! I mean, shoot.
There we go. Okay.
Man, I've been holding my tongue all day.
Shooting's way better.
Yeah. Welbot needs to have that as his standard looking.
They need to switch those two words around. I reckon one should be less bad than. Oh, well, he's looking scary.
Yeah, get down. I'm gonna shit you.
You gonna what?
You said that you swap the two words.
Oh, we said shoot.
I was thinking, like,
I'm like,
there's been 12 school shootings this year.
Oh no.
That'll be way better. Come on, let's face it.
Garth, you are alive still, right?
His eyes are working.
Yes, I am.
All right, thank you, because I did get some screenshots of that just to like prove my point. I'll send them to you later. Because I'm like, dude, that's like from a scary video game. You know, it's like one of those VR games where you just like turn around, there's nothing there. You hear a noise, you turn around, and right there.
You turn around, and there's a welbot.
Big scary rabbit next to you.
Looked like a cover of like a Rob Zombie album or something.
Yep. Yeah, Rob Zombie.
Yep.
Bring on the Rob Zombie.
All right.
You look like the driver of Dragula.
Coffee time. I'll be back.
I've got to drop out too. It's midnight here, so I've got to go get a couple hours of beauty sleep so I can be refreshed. Jump on it.
Hey, Mr. Russell, check your Twitter in case you need a wake-up call.
Will do.
Because, someone's got to be up.
Yeah, I'm going to bail on you guys too because I got to start making
the donuts.
Slow trek of making my dinner because it takes me forever these days. So, thanks for having me and
hey, thanks for joining.
Catching it.
Nice to meet you, man. We'll catch up on online somewhere along the lines. I've got you on Twitter. I'll see if I find myself using Twitter.
Yes, I'm always on Twitter.
Staying twittered with you.
See you, Chris. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Chris is gone.
Bye-bye, Chris.
So long. Farewell. Da, 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 da.
I will drop off too.
After I just done the Sound of Music, you're going to leave now?
No,
Really?
no, of course not. You have a lovely voice.
I am
Come
never
on,
doing that
sing
again.
once again for me.
Nope.
Please.
Nope. I started, and you're like, all right, time for me to go. The fat man singing. That's the time I need to go.
That's what you said.
No, and you're laughing about it. I see how it is.
No.
I see how it is. I just
No.
do whatever I can to entertain people.
That's not true. You're turning around my words.
I'm not turning around. There's video proof. I can't turn around your words if it's recorded. It's impossible.
Actually, no, you can. There's editing.
Not helping.
Only in post, though.
Okay, coffee. By Mia.
Yeah.
By welbot.
Bye.
See you
Well,
soon.
guys,
I'll be back.
I know, honestly, thank you very much for taking the time out of your day for a long part of your days, for coming in and hanging out with us and having a few laughs and educating some people. And I really do appreciate it.
All right. Enjoy yourselves.
Thanks, guys. Nice to meet you.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye. See ya.
Ciao.
Bye.
Now the awkward bit where they can't work out how to leave.
No. I'm just waiting for you to sit there and say, are you sure I can stay? I can leave if you want to, if you need the space or anything else.
Oh, me?
No, I'm teasing you. I'm teasing. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, someone should have told you never take anything I say serious. Like if I'm ever serious, I will literally say I'm dead serious.
I'm serious, but go.
Yeah. Other than that, just don't listen to me.
Cool. No, all good. No, I'm just conscious that I do have no qualms with opening my mouth whatsoever, so it makes it hard for other people.
Elijah, what the heck was that?
I was fiddling with something on my desk and I touched the lightsaber.
Yeah.
And it can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think. Wait, can it? No, okay. I thought I could change colors first. Wait, there's another button.
No, I thought you electrocuted yourself, and I'm like, wait, are you alive? Please
no,
be
I'm
alive.
still alive.
Okay,
probably.
Good. Hopefully.
I wish I could turn the volume down on these birds that are flying around in my warehouse. They've decided to nest in here, I think.
Well,
two little swallows.
See, but that's when you need to figure out some type of mechanical thing to scare them away.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Not
lonely
really
here. I could
scare
use
them
a
away.
company.
It's free food.
Free food.
So, Kathy,
I'm
how are
happy
you
to
holding
hear
up
about
over there?
Cathy.
Yeah, not too bad. Probably pop off shortly if you've got someone else coming in.
Nope, you guys are safe. Well, I mean, don't take me wrong. If you guys need to go,
I need to the
I mean, I
kitchen
don't
to
want
make a cool, refreshing beverage
really.
containing the thing that we don't talk about.
For the goodness, joy, and hope.
A cool, refreshing tea.
Those are the things we don't talk about. Well, there is like, because when I sent out the invitations and everything else, and like, you know, that rule came about, and they're like, really? I'm like, look, as long as it's not on camera, I don't know what's in your cup. You can just do whatever you want. I mean, it's water. Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Because
it's
believe me,
definitely it's water.
well, you're drinking water.
Reminds me of the Cars movie when someone goes the piston cup and you go and what's his name goes, he did what in his cup?
Why do you remember that?
I don't know. I just recently 3D printed the piston cup.
Oh,
Here it
I
is.
thought it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, it didn't come out of no. It's like
There is a method to the madness.
There was a method to the madness. Yeah, I just printed that the other day. So, a friend of mine's got a mobile slot car business, and he needed to jazz it up a bit and do some more scenery in there. So, he got me to print a little fire station and a piston cup and a set of lights, a few other bits and pieces. So, yeah, it's good. I've been busy. I think I've been busier than usual with this whole business going on. Honestly, I think I have. Like, it's people are still, working on projects at home, and they're, I've sold filament that I wasn't expecting to sell. People are still getting me to design stuff. It really hasn't. If anything, it's gotten faster and more, and not backwards. But it was never that fantastic in the first place. I'm just a small business, just chugging along. But yeah, I think that because people are shopping online, because they're not going out, and they're still in their retail therapy, and it seems like people are buying more stuff for printers. I mean, a lot of people are talking about being out of filament. My supplier's out in the USA, and they're out in Germany, I think it was, that they'd run out of filament. So it's. People are using it, that's for sure. I think a lot of people are printing masks, so people are using more filament than usual. So.
Yeah, I mean, like for here stateside, trying to get PETG is not easy. Because as soon as a supplier has it, it's gone.
Right.
And then,
Yep.
And then with my job, I do customer support and everything else, and so you get people. It's like, well, hey, I'm doing this for this hospital and everything else, and it's just like, I understand that, but that's really there's no strings I can pull, because there's 20 other people in the same exact situation that you are, and it's like we're not trying to be jerks. It's just like there's no balance. It's impossible to so.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have a. Let me turn the screen off.
Yeah, especially like Billy said, Gina, from correctly, because I might be wrong, because half the times I am. But like the creators of Octoprint, they saw a huge increase of support tickets and everything else, because everyone's trying to do this.
Yes. Yeah.
I have a huge pile of filament.
Oh wow.
No, but that's a great idea, because so many times, I mean, like, you can buy blue from 3 different manufacturers, and as similar as they look, all 3 are going to be different.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, I was initially printing the little alien from Alien 3D model as a sample, so that I could show people different colors, but I thought that just became too bulky. So when I saw Filament One, Filamentum make their filament swatch and then sell it. I thought, well, I'll just make one myself that I can just print from my own filament, so that when I want to show people the colours, or so that I don't end up buying the same filament twice if I don't want to. Just get some idea of what I already have.
Yeah, I should do something similar. I've the choices of colours is not that huge, but there is like at least 6 or 7 different colours of green PLA that I can get if I want to, and things like that. And just to have a swatch like that with all the different brands for customers to pick from would be great.
At a Pro Pasta, they have awesome colour selection.
Yeah. Oh, so those are samples you printed?
That's from filament that I've bought.
Yep. So every time you buy a bit, you sort of print a little thing.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a great idea. I printed a few business cards out of all my scrap filament, and then started mucking around with little. Come on, be good. Price tags for things.
Also, I subscribe to the Filament One Profi box. They have excellent shipping rates to Australia. Actually, if you're looking for filament from the US,
right.
Really. I don't say exactly how much, but really, really good shipping rate to Australia.
Cool. Good to know. Yeah, I had a friend actually inquire about some nylon, and I didn't know what to tell him because he asked about any easy printing nylon that prints at low temperatures. And I thought to myself, you probably can in the US. You probably can get something, but I wouldn't know what, and I thought I should ask around, but then I've got to get a price to get it over here as well. So
I'm not sure if this is good.
If what's good?
Oh, sorry, guys.
What? Got some bad milk there, JT.
Look at her. Look at her like that's JT.
It's actually bad fruit cake or pudding. I muted my video, if that's a thing.
Not enough alcohol in it then, if it's gone bad.
It's just not ideal. Anyway, I'll drink the coffee.
Okay. Your face back on.
No, you're not allowed to eat on stream.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid?
Oh, really?
No eating on stream, so I muted my video.
I muted my audio when I was eating. I didn't mute my video. Since when are you allowed to eat on stream? It's
basically, don't eat a 4-course meal on stream for X amount of time.
Yeah, like it's definitely imagine not wanting to hear it. I thought to mute my mic when I munched.
Yes, Elijah?
For X amount of time. Does that mean if I eat it fast enough, it's allowed?
Well, as long as you're not taking like a whole burger and jamming it in your mouth, and we're wondering if we have to give you the Heimlich maneuver.
The virtual Heimlich maneuver. I just have like a piston under my desk. You press a button, you just punch it.
It's me trying to figure out your address and dial 911 New York and try to.
Oh yeah, I forgot that 911 existed.
Just try and fall forward onto the CD drive so that we can open it remotely.
Or just have your printer right there.
On the printer and leave your Octoprint instance open.
If you guys can excuse me, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break, if that's okay.
No. Not good enough.
Yeah, don't leave.
Oh, go eat your whatever.
No, it's terrible. It's really bad. Thank God I got coffee as well.
Well, I'm actually going to grab something to snack on for a second. I won't go away. I'll just be there. But I need
snack away.
I do need to put food and drink in me momentarily. I'll be back shortly.
One of the things Cathy and I actually have met, and one of the things Cathy did give me was a green, a perfectly. I'm covering a specific bit of information, but it doesn't matter. Actually, that's yellow on the front. It's green on the back. That's cool.
You need to put something behind it.
Yeah. No, I know because but that's yellow there.
Yeah.
And the green screen is picking up the yellow, not green. That's green.
Well, because I think there must be some green pigment in it.
There is, but
I printed it, like in the first few layers, it looks green actually on the printer.
She printed a really good watery business card. Excellent. And businessy card, buildings. Anyway, so speaking of filament tests, that's another way of doing it. But I do swatches as well, so I do little swatches. Speaking of shipping, we were talking about ridiculous shipping costs before. One of the things that I was really grumpy about was the individual filamentum swatches.
Yes.
99 cents or euro, €1 equivalent, 35 euros to ship.
Yeah.
Because that was their minimum shipping.
Ridiculous.
Yes. Anyway, since RC Maniac knows about such things, edge detection and so forth, it's going. Found an edge of something, drew it, and did the chroma keying. That was happening in chat before, and now it's happening again. And Billy, I see Billy Rubens in the chat, another Aussie. What time is it there, Elijah?
3:16 a.m.
Oh, okay, cool. Is that all? No worries. Good.
I guess you're not going to school, so it doesn't matter if you're up late.
Well, I still have to go to virtual school on Monday, but it's.
Oh yeah, because it's not Sunday for you. Because it's 5 p.m. Sunday for us.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is?
So.
Huh?
Go on.
Oh, do you know the Lay's chips do me a flavor challenge?
No, not familiar.
Oh, okay, because I was wondering, like, if you know any weird flavors.
I try and avoid them. There are some weirdish flavors and combinations, but they mostly do that with ice cream and Tim Tams. Do you know what Tim Tams are?
No, I have no clue.
Chocolate biscuit, and multiple layers of chocolate, and then they try and do salted caramel or frog's legs. They don't do frog's legs, but they do weird sort of flavors.
Got it.
It's chips. Not so. I won't even try them typically. Although Red Rock Deli have chili and something. But you guys have far more flavor variation than we do with your products.
Yeah. I think I might have to go to bed soon.
I
think it might be time for me
Someone's checking up on you.
Yeah. I'm going to wait for Shane to get back and then...
Sure.
Yeah.
Marcus, yes, we have jelly beans. And we also have shops. There was a jelly bean shop, and you could pick and choose of, 50 flavors or whatever. Yeah, exactly. Weird flavors. Chocolate jelly beans, for example.
Do they have the Birdie Bots every flavored, like, jelly bean things from Harry Potter there, or? Yeah,
the one where you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, well, they have a little guide on the back, but some of them will just be like, oh, light blue, or like light blue, but a very slightly different shade. So you won't exactly.
Yes. You get one that tastes like vomit.
What?
Yeah, exactly. You get one that tastes like spew.
Yeah. My dad keeps on insisting that the vomit flavored one doesn't taste like vomit. It just tastes like peach. But everyone I know tastes it, and it tastes terrible.
Yeah.
G'day, Matt. Welcome. I guess it's good morning for the UK. What's 9 hours or 10 hours from now? Yeah, morning. And cookies. Bob Carnes is saying cookies. We have different flavours, or they have different flavours. Variations of Kit Kat. I've had I think a pink Kit Kat. I think it was probably terrible. But then again, I'm not a fan of whitish chocolate. So,
we reduced to talking about chocolate.
And Kit Kats and lollies and jelly.
Are we even talking about 3D printed chocolate, or are we just talking about chocolate?
No, just chocolate.
Just chocolate.
Yeah, stick it in your gob type chocolate.
Stick it in your gob type chocolate. I do like chocolate. My kids got smashed with chocolate this Easter.
I forgot that this is supposed to be a Maker live stream, so I just like asked what.
No, it's fine.
I came down to Australian questions. The old Aussie questions. What chocolate do you have in Australia?
Oh, I actually asked Elijah if he knew what Tim Tams were.
Okay, yeah, I was about to talk about Milo, but I decided against it until I got here. Do you guys have Milo over there?
What?
Milo, chocolate granules for making hot chocolate. So it's dehydrated sort of chocolate. It's like instant
milk. It's chocolate flavouring for milk.
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
And of course, it's a green can, so you have to put it in front of your body.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's delicious.
Yep.
Okay. Translating biscuits. Yes, thank you, Marcus. Just reading through chat. All right. What's your most ridiculous purchase, Cathy, from a 3D printing point of view? Or Sam? First one to answer.
I'll let her answer first.
The things that are still in boxes behind me.
No, they're not ridiculous purchases. They're for when you're in hibernation or isolation.
Yeah, but I might be in isolation, but I'm still having to go to work. So all these people who are in isolation, they seem to have boundless time to do stuff.
Yeah. Robbie Mack, like Nestle Quick, Nestle is much more powdery and very fine powder, of which Strawberry Quick is the favourite for me. There we go. So, hard to tell. Green screen, hard to tell. Yeah, you can't see the granule size.
Chunky kind of bits, and it never mixes in. It's dumb. It's really dumb.
So you don't add milk. You just eat the Milo.
You just eat
it. Would it taste bad to just eat a spoonful of? Okay.
There you go. No, it's fine.
That question. You're gonna have a really dry mouth. This is like the cinnamon challenge, but without like the medical repercussions of choking.
And it's way less powdery, so you're not going to inhale it. And it's. I don't even know how you'd describe the granule size. Sort of like coconut shreddings, or
a little bit like coffee granules, sort of.
Yeah, dehydrated.
Yeah.
But the US folks typically don't know what instant coffee is. Believe it or not.
No, I don't know what instant coffee is.
There you go. See,
I'm drinking some right now.
Huh?
I'm drinking instant coffee right now. It's basically just like freeze-dried coffee.
Yeah, it's dehydrated.
I heard someone mention it earlier in the stream back at like whenever I was on earlier.
Yep.
It's like picture making a nice cup of coffee and then sucking all the water out of it, and then putting it into a packet as like powder.
Oh, it's probably like hotel coffee in the sachets. That's a good description.
Yeah, surely you got to have that.
I don't really pay attention to what.
No,
don't worry. Honestly, it's all crap. Don't worry about it.
I actually never started drinking coffee, or at least never started liking drinking coffee. I just drink Diet Coke or like Coke. It's not as I don't know. It's not as easy to. Or I drink tea. That's easier to wake up with than like a fizzy.
Yeah, tea's good. I like tea. I like chai tea.
Yeah, I didn't really think about usually I'll drink Diet Coke to like stay up late or something, because it's fizzy, I'm already awake. And a couple times I tried to drink it early in the morning to, wake myself up. I thought it would have the same effect. No, it just feels terrible on my tongue because it's a fizzy like drink that tastes like battery acid and it's horrible.
Yeah. No, I just, when you said diet, I just can't stand the taste of diet anything. It just
I can't
tastes
stand
so
the
bad.
taste of normal Coke.
Wow. That's weird. I've heard other people say that too. You know who says that? The guy in the B movie that's a dick. The guy in the B movie that's the bad guy, like the chick's boyfriend. He's like, I prefer the taste. I know it has an aftertaste. I prefer it. And he's like having a tantrum about something else. Yeah, anyway. That was the B movie.
The B movie was weird.
Yeah, I did like the way they played the lawyer out though. That was pretty good. I liked their lawyer character. It's a very typical one. Anyway, so 3D printing, guys. Like, I've got heaps of stuff to show off. If you want me to, I can show
What's
off.
your tell me your weirdest purchase?
My weirdest purchase. Well, it was like a relationship drama purchase, actually. My missus at the time bought a piece of furniture, which I don't want to go into. She didn't tell me how much it was. She told me how much it was going to be to get delivered, and it was actually $300 more than that in total. I was like, $40 to get delivered. Yeah, it was like, yeah, sweet, whatever. Anyway, and I was like, oh, that's a bit unfair. Like, I wouldn't have minded, but you could have told me. Anyway, then I went and bought 3 Ender 3s and told her that I had bought 1 Ender 3. But I worded it, because the name Ender 3, in such a way that it sounded like 1, even though I'd said I'm getting 3 printers. I can't remember how I worded it now. But yeah, and so the 3 printers arrive, but I got the guilds and told her beforehand and everything. I couldn't hold it back. I basically just ended up getting the guilds and telling her and blah blah blah. So yeah, long story short, that was fun.
Wives and partners. Right? Honesty is almost the best policy.
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's exactly right. Honesty is the best policy. Yeah.
The natives are going restless and they want to see more models and or makes from you, Sam.
Yep. All right. Cool. Sounds good. Excellent. I can show that. And like, who wants to have a slice off? Who wants to see a slice off? Anyone in the comments want to see a slice off?
Between?
Maybe we do like 2 teams, like one side of the screens.
No, don't be ridiculous.
Teams.
Nah, too serious.
And we like, rah! I don't know. But like, no, but like, we should slice some stuff in some different slices.
I'm pretty sure he's talking about multiple slices and just doing the same thing.
Yeah, like different people can play on different teams and swap back and forth if they want.
I'm out. I'm out.
No, does anyone want to like maybe we all slice the same model and just see how we work? I don't know.
Nah.
No.
While you're fetching your models.
All right, I'll go get some.
This is what I was working on before the.
Cat emergency.
Rise.
I shall return.
Is 3D printed ID card holders for your lanyard. So I was going to try and sell these to people at work, but that's on hold now until everybody goes back to work.
Cool.
Nobody needs an ID card holder at home.
Sorry,
Elijah, what are you working on at the moment?
At the moment,
Yeah.
I think I showed it off earlier. It's just like a better version of what I was working on the last time. Not the last time I was on, but the last stream I was on. It's just like a little RC car that can drive around. I'm trying to get rid of the 9-volt batteries in the back, and I moved it just to 1 motorboard instead of my dumb idea of using 4 because I forgot that. Never mind. But the eventual idea for this will be like I guess like a quarantine machine. I'll drive it around. It'll have like a minigun on top. I want to be able to speak from it, which the other model did have, but it was using like a free text-to-speech thing for Pi. I forgot what it was called, but it was good for being free, but it was also unintelligible. So I might want to get like an actual text-to-speech chip or something. But basically, it'll just be an RC car I can drive around and shoot my friends with and talk from and hear from.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know. Maybe I can like put it up as like or suggest. I don't know. What's the right word for that?
Like a list of materials. So yeah.
If I finish it, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a social distancing machine. I don't know, just so I can interact with my friends.
Well, that's it. Then you could make a bill of materials and then get them to make their own.
Oh yeah.
So the bots could just talk to each other, so you don't not actually talking in person anymore.
Oh, that's true. Well, yeah. Maybe I could add like little piezo meters that act as targets at the top, and if you hit it, the bot stops moving with the rubber band. Oh right, I forgot to say I was gonna add a rubber band gun on the top.
And then you should get some face detection software for it. a camera so that you know who you are actually going to be shooting.
Oh yeah.
Friend or foe?
Yeah.
Kill or let live?
So I came back at a good time. I put my
Yes.
headphones on. It was kill or let live. I'm like,
No, we were debating whether or not we should kill you.
yes.
Yes.
Yes,
I'm
kill
on
me
team
now.
yes.
Wait, don't you have a giant 3D printed gun?
That was never mine. That was the company's.
Oh, I thought that was okay because I saw you
No.
walking around with it.
Yeah, no, I just took that and just walked. Usually I met Elijah at the New York Maker Fair. And so when I work a fair, if there's some type of prop or something, I'll just walk around the booth with that. And this one, I think it was a rifle from Warhammer 40,000K, I think. Or something like that.
I think I have to go. My dad signaled me that I should probably go to bed at around 3 o'clock.
Isn't it past 3?
Yeah, it's 3:30 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might go to bed.
Right. Don't worry about it. I'll edit the video. He'll never know.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll never know. Yeah. I heard something big fall over earlier too, so I might want to go check that out. Anyways, it's been nice being on the stream again.
Anytime, sir.
Bye.
Catch you later. Bye-bye.
See ya. Right, I'll leave the meeting.
Yeah, and then hit the OK button.
Yeah.
So, two-step process. All right, Sam is collecting materials for
what?
showing bits and bobs.
Oh, show and tell.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Because I don't know, I walked into Kill, Sam's collecting items.
Elijah's building a small autonomous robot, and he's got sensors to do social distancing measures to keep everyone away, of course. And he's got a rubber band gun on the top. And that was the kill or live, because Cathy suggested face protection as something else to add. So lots of filamentum, I can see.
Yeah, can you please do me a
Lots
favor?
of these.
Never show that to Filament Frenzy, because you'll just trigger him, and then he'll go around taking photos of all this.
No, you need to have a complete bookcase and shelf with hundreds and hundreds of rolls.
I'll just see if the camera will go that far. I'll show you what's on the floor.
No, we can't see you, Sam. And we're looking at something else. We're looking at Cathy's floor where all of her filament stash is.
Down the wrong way.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, you can't see the floor because that's where the filament is.
Yeah, please don't show that to Tom. You're going to trigger the poor kid.
Or Fernando. Fernando Herdeth is also big filamentum hoarder. All right, Sam, show us your T-Rex. Actually, kill your virtual background.
Screen.
Kill the green screen, and you're muted. Yes, you're muted.
Yes, you're muted.
Yes.
But we can take care of that, I think.
Waiting. Still waiting. His mouse has got flat batteries.
Oh, good. Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
Now kill your green screen.
Now kill my green screen. Hold on. LG something. Choose virtual background.
Actually, I don't know if I can unmute someone. See? Let's have a look. Sam, I'm going to mute you just for a sec. Okay, start counting. No, don't be like that.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Yes, you can absolutely unmute them because I'm a host.
But all right, so I'll mute myself.
All right, you mute yourself. Start talking. Go on. There is an unmute button.
Oh, I bet you can't for privacy reasons.
Yeah.
Someone might think they're muted, and then they go off and have a wild orange juice.
Yes, wild orange juice.
There was an option that came up saying, the host wants to unmute you.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I saw, something like that. And there was a thing that you had to click.
Cool.
Yeah, that makes sense, because otherwise you could sort of like spy.
Yeah, because I could see the button called unmute, and obviously you got a notification. Cool.
And now you know.
So I haven't gotten any further with this since last time I was on an interview situation with YouTube. But I will get around to printing the bottom drawer one day. I think I've painted it since though. And it's nowhere near paint. It's just had an undercoat, just like a primer. It's actually roof paint, and I'm just going to give that a bit of a light sand and then get in and use some just artist acrylics on it. Give that a really nice weathered sort of look, make it look like a nice fossil. That's one.
How long did that take?
2.5 days-ish. That's from memory. Like it was roughly that. Like by comparison, the mannequins took more like sort of 20 hours in the background. I've got one of them strategically placed there so that it doesn't get us kicked off YouTube.
Oh.
No, it's not that bad. It's something you'd see in an art gallery. Anyway, yeah, so we've got a planter skull. This is one of my first 3D printed skulls that I kind of designed myself. And you can see there the nose has got the square bit in it. If you look at most of the things on Thingiverse sort of based off the original skull that I based this off, they've all got, one side's got a square bit of nostril there, and the other side's got a slightly rounded bit of nostril there. And I've mirrored it. This model I mirrored it one way, and then I decided I didn't like it and mirrored it the other way, and ended up with what I've used for like the rest of my skull. And I'm going to get some light happening in the front there. Just give me a sec.
Cool. Cathy, are they 500-gram ESUNs behind you?
1 kilo.
Really? Because they look they just look odd from this angle. I'm so used to seeing them.
They're in the distance.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? They're smaller, right? Okay.
She's like, 500.
I'll bring it closer.
Oh, look, that's a 1 kilo if ever I saw it.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm just looking at all the things on Sam's printers. Sam, what are on top of all your printers? Your 3 enders?
A skull, and something.
No, not on the bed. On the crossbeam. He's got a yellow, blue, and green something, or yellow, light green. His headphones are off. He can't hear.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just have to ask it again. Now he's lost the headphones.
Okay.
Question for you.
Yeah.
On your Ender 3s, not the bed, but across the rail at the top, what are those light green, blue, and dark green prints or something? On the top of the rail, yeah, what's that?
That's my logo.
Oh, okay. I can't see it.
Yeah, it's just a piece of printed plastic with my logo on them.
Ah, okay, cool.
Nothing special. I will eventually redo that with a spool holder up there. Even though I hate spool holders on top of the printer, I'm going to do it anyway for the sake of convenience when I take them out and about.
Mm-hmm.
But normally I've got all my spools are mounted up here on. Can you see that?
Nah.
No.
Just under. Yep.
So I can slide them around, move them around, and then eventually boot them off when they're empty.
Okay, cool.
It sort of works. It's sort of annoying. It sort of works. It's sort of annoying.
Do you have any sort of moisture absorption issues?
They don't spend long enough up there for that.
Okay.
Yep. There's sometimes if I'm saving a colour for something, I'll put it away and that sort of thing. I've got some in bags that are, but I do also have a little drying box that I use to dry things. It was an old towel warmer.
Okay.
And I've put some holes in the door so that it doesn't get up to as hot a temperature as it did by itself. And basically just giving it a bit more airflow, and that works pretty good. Now I've actually put that in a cupboard so that the whole cupboard is then a warm cupboard.
Okay.
So then I can put more filament in there. But it is a thing, your filament seems to print okay and you get it dialed in well enough, but if you dry it more, it prints better.
Even better.
So, my philosophy is get it working, get your settings as good as you can get them, get it to work, then dry your filament and watch it get better.
Sure.
Anyway, so, what are we showing off? I was showing off the T-Rex. I've shown off my frog.
Grab your Lego man.
The Lego man. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was going to show the Lego man.
Is he a toilet roll holder?
He is a toilet roll holder. He's not very popular at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's a toilet roll holder.
Yeah.
There's a toilet roll pole that goes through there.
Yep.
And the original one that I downloaded off Thingiverse, and I don't remember if I've uploaded this. So I'm going to keep my bum if I haven't. But I made it more Lego-esque. Actually, we were talking before, and I was going to show it off, but I didn't want to talk too much. I get shy about talking too much.
Clearly.
No.
No, I do. It's a complex.
No.
It's a complex I have. See, believe it or not, but in real life, I am actually a small doses person. And, I do actually talk too much. So it's all my friends that are watching this, if they are, which they're probably not because I talk too much, watching this going, geez, Sam, you talk too much. Anyway, so basically the Lego man didn't really have Lego shaped connectors. It was like these weird triangular blocks. I was like, that's not Lego. And I fixed it. And but earlier on in the stream we were talking about the Lego man, and I did want to crack it out and show that because I made it so that it fitted and blah, blah, blah. So then I decided I should pose the legs in a different position, and I've now got a version that's sitting. But it doesn't fit the toilet roll unless it's almost empty. So
You mean you didn't articulate them? What's wrong?
No. Come on.
Print in place.
Mesh mixing. I'm mesh mixing. I've done some cool print in place stuff with Mesh Mixer, but anyway, back to the Lego man. So I've also made a version that holds a filament spool. But I needed to still go gadget his arms a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because
or you put a big concave bit in his chest.
Yes. Yeah, that would work. Or have two Lego people holding a Lego broomstick.
Sounds very inefficient use of space.
Yeah, but I'll just point this around to here. So that's my Lego toilet version, and Lego filament version. He's got longer arms. Essentially, that's his claim to fame.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes him special. Is the lighting good enough? That's not too bad, is it really? It's pretty good. I can point it up more, but I figure that if I point it up more, it's going to be a bit too much. Maybe I will.
You'll get the spooky torch under the chin.
Yeah, I'm sort of trying to point it behind the computer monitor at the wall. It's not too bad. Yeah, that's all right.
That's all right.
It's decent. So the nose there I was talking about the nose. I chose the better of the two sides with the nose and made that smoother.
Okay.
I fixed underneath the chin. So this one's not been. I'm going to take this camera out into the light. Focus. That's an unprepared, unfixed skull.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
And my process for fixing that is. I'm not going to try and do that by looking at the camera. That was ridiculous. I was about to try and do it looking at the camera without looking at real life, but that's not going to happen. So I basically tear that off. Usually use nips, but you can do it with your fingernails. And it's pretty much done. And that was,
nice.
Instead of using support material, I do that. And the other thing, sometimes if I can, if I need to, I get a blowtorch. Normally for a small one like that, I don't use this huge blowtorch, but that's what I've got handy. I'll just get further back.
Here we go, melty.
Just a quick little flash like that. Because those bits are ultra thin, they take on the heat ultra quick, whereas the rest of the model doesn't. So there's a fine art to getting that right. And if you've printed with not very many perimeters and not a very wide layer width, it's risky. You can shrink wrap it, and the infill all of a sudden comes through. But I'm standing right in front. Sorry.
That's all right. Chest cam.
I was going to say, man, your focus came in perfect, so I could see every thin thread.
That's good. That's a good spot for it.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So look, it's not a perfect print. There's some little flaws around the retractions and that, and the other side there I haven't obviously cleaned up. But
your average punter would not care.
That's without any support on the inside there, and it's completely, Anyway, I fixed the bottom up so that the little floaty bits that were on there don't fall off. There's a few little tricky parts with some of the models where bits would fall off early on in the print. That were like there was these two little bones there that were kind of separate from this main base. So when it started, there was the main base, and there was these two floaty bits there and there.
Ah.
And they would then print out on this really weird angle to just like a little saddle shape that was up, so like an upside down saddle-y kind of a thing. And it didn't really, serve any purpose. So I just got rid of that and smoothed it.
Sure.
and then re-uploaded that as the easy print skull. So if you're ever looking for a skull and you search skull and you see the skull that looks very much like just this without the hole cut in the top. I've got them all over the place, but I can't see one right now. But if you see, sorry, moving the camera was the dumbest thing I could have done. If you see that skull basically with a full top, there's the original version, and then there's my version that's got the nose fixed up and mirrored, and the underside fixed up, and then there's the bottom fixed up so it prints easier, and it prints with no support and no infill if you do a couple of shells. This one's got infill because it's hollow, and I wanted it to be a planter pot, and it's got some infill in there to give it some meat, because it's a hollow shape. Whereas if it's completely hollow, the top and bottom layers on the inside fix the bridging at the top kind of thing for you. So it ends up, doming over pretty nicely. I suppose I should get one, but I'll do that after I take my headphones off next.
Are you familiar with your namesake, Chris Taylor, or Nearies?
Yes and no. There's so many YouTubers. Which one's Chris Nearies? Not Chris's Basement. That's Chris Riley.
No, he does reviews and take apart.
I know I've seen his stuff. I'm just trying to remember which one he is.
Lots of builds. Anyway,
yeah,
he does rockets. Anyway, he does. There's a method that he uses for vase mode, but an inside and an outside vase with a continuous shape.
Yes.
So he builds an interface between the inner and outer. It's really clever. So instead of having
to
listening,
I'm just walking away to find my
instead of printing, a conventional print, you can cut hours and hours off things by using his really clever method of vase mode.
Yes. Now, I've got a part right here that's printed. Actually, I didn't print it that way, but the model was meant to be printed that way, so let's pretend it was. That's the vase style seam there. It does seal.
Yep.
It's for a ventilator. It's an adapter for a ventilator, but this was just like literally the first proof of concept one, and then I did a couple of resin ones and haven't gone back to it. But the idea there is that the model actually is exactly what you said. It loops around and it loops back, so that the thing, and you've just got to have a split down the side of your thing, and then it will print in vase mode better than it would have.
Exactly, and the split is literally the width of the filament, or the width of the extrusion. Sorry.
Yes.
Or half the width of the extrusion, one or the other.
Right. Yep, just enough so that it tricks
enough that the slicer thinks, oh yeah, this is vase mode capable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that may work well on your sculls. May.
Yes,
I don't know.
You are right. That may very well work well. Actually, I should definitely investigate that, because that would be a good way to force the Z seam to be exactly where you want it to be, and a few other things as well. Where's the Z seam on this one? Geez, that's a neat Z seam. Oh yeah, it's
even if you do say so yourself.
It's on random, or shortest or something like that. It must be on one of the auto ones. Yeah, that was printed on the cheapest printer I've got. That one. I haven't got it here to show you. I've lent it to a friend.
Okay, what printer?
Suwei SW200.
Okay. Is it a knockoff of anything?
A little tiny mini knockoff of kind of an Ender 2-ish kind of a thing, with a single cantilevered little.
Okay, like a Tromsy X1.
Yeah,
or
probably.
Make a mini, or the
the Prusa-ish kind of mini kind of style, but more in your Ender 3 frame.
Okay.
Ender 3 frame-esque, Anyway, so what do we got here? We've got an ABS Fang hot end. Nothing special. I didn't design it. It's just one I printed that I've kind of tended to be using. I like it.
Is that for Ender?
Yeah, it's for an Ender 3 or CR10 or anything with that hot end. Here's my Scanale. This is one of my... Oh, sorry, it's not the Scanale. Yeah, it is. It's a Scanale.
Yeah,
it's the Scanale. Try and get that to...
Have you seen... you're not on Twitter. You're on Twitter now, but I'll send you a link for Trajan 1990, I think he is. Zane Rogers.
Yeah, lighting is hard.
Zane Rogers. He did a Scanale, as it were. So there's an artist that made a snail skull type thing, like an actual artist. Doesn't matter who.
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
there was a debate about whether the skull should be facing forwards or backwards.
Ah, yeah, right. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
mine's backward. Look, the teeth kind of work out with the
Yeah.
tongue and the tail. I
Yeah.
think that was quite a nice. Sorry, that's not fantastically in focus.
No, that's all right. We get the idea.
Yeah, he's on Thingiverse. The Snail's on Thingiverse, and I think I've got him separated for dual color. Can't remember. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I'm nearly 100% sure I did now, actually. Anyway, so that's that. This is my daughter Sylvie's design, and her little sister Ashy helped with it a bit as well, but Sylvie was largely the brains of the operation. It's a
Giraffe frog.
Girog.
Yes.
A Girog. So I got that in a few different colours. That was a cool little project, a spiky Girog. And then I've got the Scrog.
The Scrog.
Scrog's not the smoothest print. I was testing out settings on a new printer at the time.
Looks all right.
It's not bad. Like that's there's a bit too much string for me though. That was testing out the Bondtech clone on the Ender 3 for the first time and didn't quite have the E-steps dialed in 100%, I think. And
how much was that? Like $15 or something?
Clone?
Yeah.
Oh no, it was a Triangle Labs one, so they're not cheap.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, so like I reckon that I don't know what the original ones look like, but I don't imagine it could be much better. I can't imagine a part being much nicer.
So it's not one of the cheap knockoff clones.
No,
which is where I was heading with the price point.
I want to get some of the cheap knockoff clones now because I want to see what they're like because I don't know how much worse they could be either.
Yeah, if they're dual gear.
They're dual gear. If it lines up, it lines up. If it's steel, it's steel. I don't know. You know what I mean? There's a point where quality gets unnecessary.
Yeah.
And cost,
cost ratio.
And
cost benefit ratio.
I'm running a shop. I don't want to tell me if I cross any lines. All right. I run a shop and I want to provide good products for people. And all I do is drop ship. But I want to find good stuff and I want to make sure that people can get good stuff through me. And I'm going to put links to all the stuff on my store from now on where people can just go straight to AliExpress and get it. And kind of all I'm selling is the support. But yeah, so I want to test out some really cheap clones because if they're, why sell someone something that's heaps more expensive and still make not much markup on it because I don't like doing that, and have the option that's like $6 instead of nearly $100 for the kit that I've got on the thing is if you look on don't look on my website, look on AliExpress, and look at their BMG Triangle Labs clone complete hot end kit replacement thing for the Ender 3. They're pretty tidy unit. It's got all the bits and pieces, so you go straight to having but it's like nearly $100 from them.
Okay.
So it's I'm kind of like putting just enough to cover the cost of tax and a few other bits and pieces and a little bit of advertising and. I want to make my money out of services, like actual help services, not mark up on products. I kind of want to just test products and know what's good and what's rubbish and what's unnecessary because I see so many people saying you have to upgrade this printer's hot end before it's any good. My T-Rex is sitting in the back corner there. Formbot T-Rex 2 Plus, stock standard, original hot end on it. Everything's original on that printer pretty much. Like I've modified a few little parts because I wanted to, but it just works. I'm still printing big parts on it. And then, I've seen, unfavorable comments. I won't mention names, but, people knocking their products saying that you need to upgrade it. And it's like, well, when I got mine, I didn't know anything at all. And it worked and I got it to work and I followed the directions and it worked. I got help from the manufacturer directly and they got me printing, and I sort of, I learned heaps just from the community around that printer. And at the time, some people were saying it was rubbish, but most people were saying it was pretty good. And lately, I've sort of seen a bit of negative press on it, and I think it's a bit unfair. They seem to be, to me, doing everything the community asks them to, and then when something goes wrong, people blame them and say things like a marketing team designed the printer. And it's like, have you been in the Facebook group and followed the history of it? Everything that people say, can you guys do this? And they look at it and they test it a bit and they go, that seems to work and people like it. And they do it. And then, something goes not quite right with it. and like, they had cable chain issues, and the original thing was like a. Do you guys know the Canovo heat pads? You guys familiar with those?
The silicon ones.
Silicon aftermarket Canovo heat pad. It's like a little red box that goes next to your printer, and you plug that into your 240 volts or your 110 if you're in a country that has weak power.
Imperial power.
Imperial power. So sorry, I shouldn't have done that. It was funny. So that's like a that's how they came, and that's what people wanted, because the original 24 volt one wasn't powerful enough, and people wanted a more powerful one, and they put that on there, and then people were like, you got to do something better with the cable because it's just flopping around, and I have to work out how to put it so it's not going to get tangled up. And they're like, righto, so they put a cable chain on there because that's what people wanted. And then the cable chain turned out to be a bit tight and was wearing the things, which is very dangerous, and they needed to address. And they did. They put a wider cable chain on there thinking that was enough because it was too tight. And then that wasn't enough. So they've now, I don't exactly know what their new solution is. I haven't seen it yet, but they've gone to Canovo, and they've gotten Canovo to change the cable to another cable type altogether that's more flexible for the thing, because they're still getting their supply from, they're putting bits and pieces together out of what people want, and so they get the supply of it, and then they have problems in the, so it's interesting because they're a Chinese company. I see people not giving them credit for their innovation, and I think it's a bit sad. They've listened to the community of people that on Facebook. It's a really tight knit community on the Facebook group because it's not a very popular printer. Not a lot of people have got them. So yeah. Anyway, where was I going with all that? I don't know.
You feel us with info. That's good.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to sort of say about the form bots. Anyway, is that I think that they're a good printer and that their customer service is actually 100%. The reason that I've got them on my website is because when I got my first one, I got such good customer service from the manufacturer that I thought this is a product that if I was ever going to sell it, I hate selling stuff. I'm a full anarchist, hate selling stuff. That's why I like 3D printing, because it's sort of anarchy that can replicate. So my original business name was going to be 3D Printing Anarchy, and I actually got talked into using Revolution by my business mentor, because he was like, no, let's just have a look at the business registry, and we looked at business names with the word anarchy in them, and it was like so many like terminated business names with the word anarchy in them, and we're like, yeah, okay, all right, you got a point. Revolution it is. So
fair enough.
That was me selling out. But anyway, where was I going with that? They supported me so well through that I'm confident that they'll look after me and people that buy one off me anyway. And I don't know whether the people that have had trouble with them have bought them off people that haven't looked after them, or whether it's a bit hard to know what the supply chain thingo is. But if you just ask nicely, they send you parts. I've had no trouble. Like I've had the little board on the top of the extruder's died a couple of times. They just send a new one. You just say, hey, my little board's died, and they say, oh, what's the cable like? Is the cable burn out too? We'll send you a new cable if it is. So I've had really good customer service from them, and yeah, I think they're good. Enough ads about them and me, because that's borderline doing the wrong thing. Here's Batman. So that's a stencil of Batman.
Yep.
Made from a lithophane, just extruded up a bit further in Mesh Mixer and chopped off, cleaned up, and then I added these little wormy shaped things just with, I think, a sculpting tool. Yeah, I think I just used a sculpting tool. Made a little wormy thing and attached it to the bit so that when you're stenciling, the spray paint can go underneath into the spots where you want it.
Okay.
So there's no, if you look at the front of the stencil, when you've got a lettering guide and you're pasting on your letters, and then you've sort of got to go back over it afterwards and fill the gaps. That's the solution to that. So spray paint can get in underneath it. So that's a pretty cool thing. I did a tutorial on that if anyone wants to watch it, but the sound's really terrible. And from now on, sound's going to be good.
Yep.
So
direct mic.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Kevin, for the microphone. I wouldn't be able to do this. Yeah, this whole computer and the microphone and everything's all been very much helped along by my friend Kev. So anyway, I'm peeling off support from the bottom of that, thinking it was going to be easy, but that must have been one of the. It's not going to be easy. That was one of the early test models of that particular support. What else have we got to show off? I brought heaps of things in. Oh, that was just another scrog, a bigger scrog. That was an earlier test with the extruder too. It was over extruding, massively over extruding.
Yeah.
So I had to change the E-steps. I've found with the dual drive gear extruders that if you set it so that you extrude 100 millimeters when you tell it to extrude 100 millimeters, it ends up over extruding on the print. And the reason I think it does it is because normal